Got a question? Ask Tom on HomeShow Radio.
This is HomeShow Radio live on Facebook and YouTube. Your questions, Tom's answers. Now here's Tom Tynan and Charlie Mosier.
And here I am. I was waiting for the video to go away. I was fascinated by those roofing shingles. See, I get to watch it too. Welcome everybody on Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas to all of you. And whatever your holiday is, I hope you're having a great time. But tonight's Christmas Eve. Tomorrow is Christmas Day. And then a whole week off. I like it. But next weekend, not this weekend we're having an encore show. Next weekend in 2021, and I'm looking forward to it, we're going to start live back up on Sports Radio 610 with HomeShow Radio every Saturday and Sunday. Sunday we have one more early show because the Texans play their final game at noon. After that, regular schedule, 9 to 12 on Saturday and 8 to 11 on Sunday on Sports Radio 610. And Charlie, you can help me out with this. They can also listen other places on our website, and you start.
Okay.
Spotify.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're rocking it, Tom. You keep going. I'm not getting in the way.
You can download, upload. Just go in, as they always tell me. Just go into what? The door?
No.
I don't know.
No.
I'm not a computer guy. I don't know.
No,
I can't even cut and paste, and I don't want to.
Now, we got a lot of trouble to make the show easy to find. You can find us on our website, of course, at homeshowradio.com. There's a Listen Now button there. There's also which has a 24-hour stream on there of the show, so you can hear us anytime your heart desires. You can also download and sign up for the podcast and so on. I mean, there's a lot of places to find me and Tom, and mostly Tom doing the voodoo he do, which is starting his 34th year of home improvements on the radio here in Houston. And across this fruited plain, as
we get questions from all over the country now with the internet and our website and what we do here on home live.
Ask Tom Live,
Facebook and live YouTube and whatever else we're doing. It's all over the place.
In
it's
fact,
nice.
I got the wrong logo up there. There we go. That's better. Anyways.
And he's the logo guy.
And I'm the logo guy. Yeah, no. We do it. There you go.
Sorry.
I know. You got to do it backward. That's it. You got it back where you want. Yeah, you want to go. You got to think to yourself, I want to point right, so I got to go this way.
All right.
What Tom's telling you is that our cameras are backward when we're looking at this and talking to you. So anyway.
If people haven't figured that out by now, because even on the news that I watch, they're always going the wrong way. Wrong way.
Well, we're Tom. I'm doing what Tom does. Normally, I do this from our offices over there at on the west side of Houston. But it's Christmas. We're closed. We closed down on Thursday and Friday this week and next week, and so I'm at home. I'm doing the show here, and I thought, why not? I'll do what Tom does. I kind of like it. I can get used to this.
I'm in my studio upstairs in my house in Houston, Texas, and I'm enjoying it.
You got everything wrapped and ready for Santa?
I didn't wrap anything. Listen, I'm Santa all year long for everybody.
Right.
They got to need a place to stay and free rent. This is where they come. So Santa lives all year long here at Tom Tynan's house.
That's true, and it's never too late to be fixing things around your house. If you have anything you wanted to ask Tom about, you can go ahead and put it in the comment section below. That'll pop up on our little window here, and I can put it up, and Tom can answer those questions. So we're here live, and we decided to do this even though everybody's not working today. We decided that since we're phoning it in this weekend with recorded the show, we'll do this live, and we'll be here again next Thursday too for New Year's Eve, which we should be mostly sober because it's early in the day, but that's the program for next week. So if you got a question, go ahead and put it in. What we're going to do, by the way, is we're going to go ahead and answer some of the questions we get here from the Ask Tom section here at Home Show Radio, where people fill out that form and send it. I got one. Let's get to the first one here, Tom. From Salt Lake City comes David. He says, I'll be deployed for a month. He says, living in cold Utah. I think I should turn off my main water in case the furnace goes out and things freeze. Since I'll be gone for 30 days, is it okay then to shut off my main water while leaving the water heater at its normal settings? What say you?
Turn the water off, drain the pipes, and let it go at that. The water heater will not back siphon. It shouldn't if it's hooked up right. And let the water stay at a hot temperature, because if you turn the heat to the water heater off, what's going to happen is the water is going to get to a tepid temperature and grow bacteria and weird stuff in your water heater. And then you got to go through a whole cleaning process. You don't want to deal with that. Just let it stay at temperature. It won't cost you much at all. The water's not being used, so it'll just keep it at its normal temperature. Just click on and off a little bit. A little electricity, don't turn that off. But always turn the water off to the house. And always turn it off if it was the summertime. And the reason I say that is the summertime, you can still have a pipe break. You can still have one of those lines underneath the sink or to the toilet crack. You can have a toilet crack and start to flood your home, and nobody's going to shut the water off. So at least you can reduce the pressure. If something breaks, you'll get a little bit of mess, but you won't get a whole bunch of water pumping and pumping. So anytime you leave for any period of time, turn the water off to the house.
Yeah, I think I did some research for a plumber that I work with up in Seattle on this, and they said that one pipe leaking, it put like 23,000 gallons of water into your house in a day.
It's amazing. It's clean water, but the neighbors will look and say, "What is that water seeping out under his door all over the street?
How's that coming out of the front door?"
Oh, don't worry about it. Let's go to McDonald's or In-N-Out Burger or something. We got stuff to do. And they just won't. What are they going to do? But watch.
But is there anything else, Tom? I mean, before we move along here to the next question, is there anything else like this that when you go away you should think about doing, that you should
yes, I think you should turn your furnace or heat on. Oh, absolutely. When you go away, or if you have a weekend home, which I had for years on the beach and might be getting a new one soon, you turn your furnace on 65 degrees or your electric heat and just leave it there. Let the house stay acclimated. In the summertime, when it can be 100 degrees out, turn your air conditioning system, leave it at 85, and just let it go ahead and acclimate the house too. If you don't do that, you get a hard freeze, and it's not just for water pipes, but what will happen is, or if you get really hot, your furniture, your molding in your home, your cabinets, they will react to that extreme temperature, and you'll come home to cracks in the doors of the cabinets. Your furniture could split and try to expand at a glue joint, and the glue joint go. You can have a real mess on your hand. So always acclimate your home for winter or summer. It has nothing to do with the pipes. And of course, turn the water off. You don't have to drain the pipes except in the winter. And that just gives it a little room to expand and contract. There'll be a little water in there, but it won't pressure the pipe to where the pipe will split. And that's what you're worried about. And in the summertime, if you do have that problem like your plumber was mentioning, even if something breaks, it's not going to keep pumping. You might get 2 or 3 gallons of water seeping out of the pipes on the floor, but that's not a big deal. You have insurance if you need some new carpet, if it gets that expensive. But it shouldn't, actually. It should be an easy cleanup when the time comes.
Yeah, I was thinking, is being that today is Christmas Eve and we're here working, because because our heart belongs to you. I was thinking that maybe what you want to do is we should ask people what they're asking Santa for, and we put that in the comments and share that. Maybe Santa Tom can come down your chimney tonight and deliver those gifts.
No, I'm working now. I'm going to let the real Santa do his stuff. I ain't going nowhere tonight.
Yeah, you don't look like Santa anymore. You've been working out. You're looking good.
Yeah, thank you. And I appreciate that. But I am, no Santa for Tom. No.
All right.
I have to grow hair. It's not like that movie where he grew his beard overnight. You remember that? The Santa Claus?
Yeah, wasn't that Tim the Tool Man did that one?
That's right.
I can't remember his name. I'm getting all. Anyway. All right, next question comes to us from
Tim
Fort Worth.
Tim Taylor's good.
Tim Taylor, right. Okay, he says, this is from Yvette. She says, I want to remodel a 1923 bungalow. She sent this picture of it, Tom, and I'm not sure what this has to do with her question, but what she says here is, can I put Hardie 8x10 Hardie lap siding over the exterior wood shingle siding, caulk and paint instead of removing the exterior wood siding? And should I remove the interior plaster walls or just cover them with smooth 1/8 inch panels or drywall? What say you?
Well, on the outside, if you're going to cover something on the outside and it's a shingle siding, I'm looking at her question there, it's a shingle siding, that's got to come off. You can't put anything on top of that. It'll just be a mess. and it's a fire hazard and whatnot. It's a real tinderbox, actually. So that stuff gets stripped off, then you prep the surface, and then you can do a hardy system on top of it. We had that video, Charlie, with one of our certified home show pros, the home exterior system video in that 100-year-old home. And when they started tearing in the walls, it was just a mess. It wasn't anything anybody would expect. And that's what you're going to have with this old bungalow. You need someone that can think outside of the box to prep everything, so when the hardy and behind that the moisture barriers and stuff go on, it's a nice detailed job and it looks fantastic like they did on that video. So if you go to our website, homeshowradio.com, Home Exterior Systems, you'll be able to see the video. As far as the inside, you can tear the plaster walls out, but it is going to be a mess. If you can get away with, if you're just trying to make it livable and look nice inside, 1/4-inch sheetrock over the plaster with panel adhesive and some mechanical fasteners, some nails or screws, put it all in place, tape it, float it, texture it, paint it. It should be okay if the plaster walls are flat. It doesn't matter if they're cracked as long as they're flat. But to tear those out, and you can start from scratch and put new sheetrock or drywall in there and do the whole system, that's fine too. But I'd avoid it if I could.
Yeah, there's one of the things that you talked about, that 100-year-old house, which, by the way, is in Brenham, and it took them so long to do that project. It became known internally. We called it the 100-year project, because it took so long to get it done. But it's because what Tom, and I think this happens with a lot of our pros, when they tear into a project, they never know when they take that siding off what lurks behind it. And I'm sure you've encountered that in a lot of projects too.
Yeah, I used to refer to it as giving birth to an elephant. It takes 2 years when it should have taken 9 weeks. It's just never ends. You can imagine how a female elephant will feel when she finally gives birth to that baby. It takes a long time. It takes 2 years for an elephant to have a baby. Okay, just so you know. It's a long pregnancy. That's why they never forget. They don't do it again. I'm sorry.
There's so many things I could say right now.
Yeah,
but instead I'll say, that's right. It's a family show. There could be small children watching today. All right, so let's go down to Washington, Texas. I think this is down by Victoria, and that's where we find Michelle. She says, I have an old hardwood pine on pier and beam floors, and the house is 70 years old. It was refinished 12 years ago with a polyurethane finish, and they look horrible, as you can imagine, Tom. We are going to sand down and keep the natural color, she says, and wax as per your video. Do I need, she asks, Tom, to seal with oil or something else prior to the application of the wax?
Yes, there's a clear sealer. It's going to give it a little bit of a wet look, and you can even do a real light color like a super light oak or something of that nature. And it just goes down with a rag. I mean, guys get on their hands and knees and they just start spreading it out and going back and forth. And then once it's dry overnight, the next day they wax. They put the wax down, they buff it. It looks fantastic, and it lets the wood expand and contract evenly. That's why those 100-year-old floors will last so long. The urethane doesn't let the top dry out or expand, so it's rigid, and underneath it wants to move back and forth, so it starts to cup. You'll find the edges cup up and down, and the moisture can't get through, and sometimes it can be so severe it'll rot from the underside up, and all you'll have left is this thin layer of wood with urethane on top. The other problem with urethane is if you have a problem in a place that you get some water or a pet makes a mistake or something, and you want to just fix that spot, you have to recover the entire floor with the urethane. You can't just spot treat it because it'll show lap joints and look horrible. With the wax, you can treat the area. You can actually refinish it, seal it, put some wax on there, and then just buff it all together and blend it. And that way you don't have to do your entire floor. So I like the wax. People say, well, it's more maintenance. You have to buff it more often. A couple times a year at the most, and you can have somebody come in and do it if you want. Or you can just buff around. And what happens, it heats the wax up and it just re-oils the wood and makes the wood look great. It's never going to be perfect. It's a wood floor, and that's the beauty of it. So I like the wax.
All right. Got one here. Came in from CJ. I think he's in Oklahoma, or maybe he's just feeling okay.
That's fine.
I'm saying, that's what his name is. He says, I think I have a clog in the vent on the roof of the toilet. The toilet fills but bubbles as it fills. You said before it's a clog. Who investigates this clog in a vent? A plumber or a roofer? He says the roof is too steep for him. I'm with you, CJ.
Yeah, I don't want you getting them on a roof if you're not comfortable. And my roof's too steep for me now at 62 years old. But as far as that goes, it's a plumber. Just get a plumber. If they have to get up there, they're going to have to do it, and they're going to have to snake it out if that's what it is. Sometimes they can go into the attic, believe it or not, and they've done that in my house, and they'll cut the PVC pipe in the attic, and they'll snake it from the attic down, and then they'll put a coupling on there and re-glue it all together, and that way you don't have to mess with the roof or get somebody on there to cause damage to the roof. So if they have access to it in the attic, they can still snake from the attic. They can even put a clean out in the attic if they ever have to do it again, which is a coupling with a little cap on it, and then they can snake down into it.
Yeah, Jim was on the early edition last week. Jim Hardwick, who's the best roofer we know,
Yes.
He was saying that he was talking about a low pitch roof. He says it's a roof that you'd feel comfortable having an 8-year-old walk around on.
That's true.
I was thinking, okay, I can't think of one, but okay.
The old days, roofs were pretty flat, but today the roof lines are much steeper. There's no doubt.
Yeah, and I think that not every roofer is a waterproofer the way Jim is, and you want to be careful when you get what turns out to be a roofing problem. But yeah, plumber is the way to go. Kyle in Carrollton has the next question. Tom, he says, I'm looking to remodel my shower, but the wife hates tile and doesn't want to deal with the cleaning of the grout. We recently came across a YouTube video of people using MDF epoxied walls instead of tiling, and they look wonderful, kind of a faux granite, he says. They make the remodel a shower about 6x4. Are these durable, Tom, for long distance? Would you recommend something different?
You know, I've seen that used in some of the college campuses that I was working at when I was with Houston Community College. They came in and they put these MDF stained boards up, and the architects that designed it came in and they loved the way it looked and everything. Then you'd have other people come in and say, what, are they trying to save money by just staining that junk? So it really is in the eye of the beholder. People have very strong feelings about it. Now, that's fine. And I thought it worked out okay what they were doing in the break area and stuff like that. But to do it in a shower, especially an MDF board, there is no way in this good earth that I ever recommend somebody doing that. I don't care how well you seal it. MDF and water do not go well together. Now, MDF and MDF board paints beautifully. It's used in trim. It's a medium density fiber board is what it stands for. But if you get it wet, it will start to deteriorate. And people say, well, we'll seal it all up. It still is nothing that I would ever put in a wet area. Now, you know, in the bathroom walls or something, probably get away with it if you just like the look, but not in a shower. So no, my answer would be no, you're not going to get a thumbs up on it from me.
Right. What would you recommend as an alternative to tile in a bathroom?
You can use big sheets of granite. In the old days, they used a lot of cultured marble, but a lot of people don't like that. But you have other products like silestone and products of that nature you can use. And of course, tile is really a good product for a shower. I don't know why people don't like it, except they destroy the grout by trying to clean it too much and clean it with the wrong chemicals. And that gets to be a problem, but it's easily steam cleaned and brought back. But as far as that goes, try to get some big sheets of granite or some kind of stone works really nice. And the joints are so tiny, and you grout them with the same kind of color, matching color, like a real dark black or something to match the granite like you do on a countertop. You never have a problem with it.
I read the big trends. I think it's like the top 10 trends in design that are out going into 2021. And one of them was granite. And they said that because the quartz products provide a more uniform uniform pattern than the granite. And I'm thinking, well, that's why I got granite. I want that look.
You know what, Charlie, that's a great comment, and it's true. If you get granite and you look at it, there's going to be flaws in it. People would tell you, the people who are purists in an architectural vernacular sense, like me, I'm a trained architect as far as my degree in architecture. but you want that imperfectness in the granite, and you want to highlight that one piece that is really imperfect somewhere where people can really see it and enjoy it. But today, people do not like anything that is not perfect. Personally, and this is only me personally, I blame the computer age to do that, because people see everything perfect on a computer. They see people perfect because everything is touched up. They see products perfect. They print wood veneer now on a computer where every grain is exactly the same. And if you get a wood door and you get variations of the wood, people say, "Oh no, I don't want that."
That's
I
a
want
second.
it to be perfect.
Yeah.
So there's a new trend today, and it's absolutely right. If you want something that's perfect as far as the patterns and stuff, it's going to have to be man-made, and it's going to be made on a computer. I find it kind of sad, but I come from the old school.
Yeah, I hear you, and it's like you say, it's a matter of what what you like, and it's a lot like fashion, in the sense that if you go with the classic, it'll always come back, and granite will come back. Cultured marble, not so much. And Corian, I don't think Corian's ever going to come back in terms of the look and feel, because it's been superseded, I think, by the silestone and the granite kind of look. Another one of the looks they said is out, Tom, is three things in particular in this article. Was one of them is all white kitchens. That's out. It's over. Okay. The other thing was stainless steel appliances in the kitchen. They said that's going to be something you see less of. And the other thing out is gray. Gray in a lot of rooms. It was a big look for a while where people were painting the rooms kind of a gray with white trim. That's going to be old school very quick. So just FYI.
That could be, but look at the appliances. What's coming back? Turquoise pink.
Yeah.
Some of the colors. And I grew up in a turquoise kitchen in
Sure.
the 60s in Fort Worth. And people say, "Oh, that stuff's never coming back." It's coming back. Stainless steel will come back.
Yeah.
I never liked stainless steel.
Avocado is not coming back.
Avocado will come back. It's on
I don't
toast
think
now.
so.
And I hate avocado.
So, right. Yeah, the Mexican avocado is grown in Fresno, California. All right.
There you go.
We got one more question here to get through. Let's see. This comes from Aaron in Pearland. He says, updating my kitchen with new cabinets. He says, I ripped up the old tile and just installed new cabinets. Do I install new baseboards or tile first? Does it matter which I do? What do you say?
Usually the baseboards go on first and all the woodwork is done. That way you get all the people out before the tile goes in. And the tile goes in, or the carpet goes in, or if it's a new vinyl or whatever floor covering you choose goes in at the very end. And then the worst case scenario, a painter has to come in and just do a little touch-up work. You don't want all those people walking around on your brand new floor. So the tile goes a little bit higher. The tile will go up underneath it, and then you will detail it with a shoe mold of sorts. But I had this question on my show last week, and if you really want to get back into the true vernacular, a tile floor with a wood baseboard doesn't meet architectural standards. It's not the way history had put it together. If you were going to do a tile floor, and I would recommend this to everybody, I did it even in my own bathrooms, I've done it in the projects I always have had, you use a tile baseboard. The tile connection between the baseboard and the floor makes a clean, nice detail that will last for years. The minute you start mixing wood and tile together and you have caulking or any kind of sealant that goes in there, it becomes dirty, it becomes gross, it becomes maintenance over just a year or two. It never looks right again. It's hard to fix it. And so I would tell you, do tile with tile. Now, if you have a wood floor, here's the other thing. A wood floor will have a painted baseboard, but you'll have a stained to match shoe mold, or some people call it quarter round, but the true piece is a shoe mold, and it'll be stained like the floor. That way, if you're vacuuming or you're mopping or anything, it doesn't hurt that little piece of wood, so it never has to be painted. It does not have to be caulked. It makes a nice detail, and that way you eliminate all that dirty growth and stuff that comes down over time with caulking and sealants and things of that nature.
And it floats. I mean, the quarter round meets the tile and floats. It doesn't. You're not going to caulk it or connect it in some way. That's the whole idea.
Everybody wants to caulk it.
No, yeah,
everybody goes down, and you say, "Oh, it looks so good the first day." 2 years later, that caulk is black because the dirt sticks in it, and you cannot clean it. So I would tell you, use a tile with a grout joint, and it looks really nice. And if you pick your floor to match your walls right, and now your trim for your doors and stuff will come down, but not the baseboard itself. It will meet and match properly, and it really comes out sweet looking.
Just like our show.
Sweet looking.
Yeah, that's it. All right.
Two old guys.
Which, by the way, I was remiss, and I feel really bad about this Sunday. I should have mentioned this Sunday when we did early edition, and I feel bad that I forgot to mention this. Is that last week, Chris Desmond's son made Eagle Scout. Carter Desmond is now a freshly minted Eagle Scout, and I just want to congratulate the Desmonds on getting that done.
I thought you mentioned that on Sunday. Was it on Facebook last Thursday?
Yeah, it was here. I forgot to mention it. I mentioned it Sunday.
Oh, here I forgot to. Okay,
but I forgot to mention it here last week.
I remember you telling me that. That's very nice.
And Christian, his other son, is hot on the Eagle Trail as well. So that's great. We can't raise enough Eagles, Eagle Scouts in America. So it's just for what that's worth. And by the way, we're going to be welcoming a couple new faces are in the hallways, Tom, that you'll be meeting soon. We've got somebody new that Zach's adding in his digital department, and we just today finished wrapping up negotiations with somebody who's joining us in the video department too. So we got a couple new faces coming in the new year, and some other things to come. So 2021 is going to be a great year, and we're really excited about it.
Now that we're talking business, are you open next week, Monday through Wednesday?
Yes, Monday, Wednesday, but we're closed. What it is we used to
Monday,
close.
Tuesday, Wednesday, right?
We're open all day.
Yeah, because I have to come in and do some stand-ups. I'm here in town.
Yeah.
So
we're open.
This is what we do, ladies and gentlemen, when y'all aren't watching. This is how we talk. Oh, okay, what day do you want me to come in? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah. But
that's fine.
But no, what it is we close down the offices. When I can, I like to close from Christmas Eve through New Year's Day. But the last couple of years, the way the holidays have fallen, just hasn't allowed for it. So next year we'll be doing that. But this year we got two 4-day weekends in a row, is what it boils down. That's a nice way to finish the year out, I think.
Yeah, that's nice.
So, all right. Well, it's been what a ride 2020 has been this year, Tom, and I'm just glad that we made it together, and I hope it was of help to you guys at home and you watching, and we are ready for another great year ahead, and a lot of surprises coming. We've got some fresh things we're going to be unfurling here as the year unfolds, both here on Home Show Radio and over with the Garden Pros as well. We've got some surprises we're adding into the mix here online on the show and on location. You'll hear more about that as we get into the new year. Sandy says when I start talking like this, I got to stop myself because I'm going to give up all the secrets. So I'm just going to stop there. So
yes,
anyway.
Please do. And I want to thank everybody that
please
donated
do
toys.
Stop.
Yes, please do. And
Thank you, Tom.
I want to thank everybody that donated toys this last weekend. I was in uniform. We collected about 500 just in 4 hours. Mm-hmm. But we ended up collecting, I think, 12 to 15,000 toys, just the Texas State Guard in this part of the state. And they've been giving them to the hospitals. And I want you to know that we don't get to meet the children in the Guard, but we get to meet the nurses and the first responders. And they were in tears. They couldn't believe with this year with COVID and all the things that were going on that anybody would even go out and bring toys to the collection centers. And we were out all over Houston, and we've had people out all over the state with the Texas State Guard, and so has other military operations too. And I just want to say thank you because it was an overwhelming success, at least I know, with the Texas State Guard. Thank you very much.
I will tell you this about that. You know, the pandemic has brought out a lot of good in a lot of people, and I think that's a good example of it. We got another one for you. Is up in Delaware. I work with a company, a heating, air conditioning, electrical, plumbing company. They're Bolden Brothers, and they do a Christmas for Kids toy drive like this every year, Tom. And usually they'll fill up one of their big trucks full of toys donate them to these two local charities. This year they filled up 2 trucks. and they had
Good.
people literally buying toys on Amazon and just having them delivered to them.
Wow.
And to
That's
make
a great
donations.
idea, actually.
Yeah, and so it was. There's a lot of good, and I think that's the thing is, I know it's corny, but I believe that every day brings us one day closer to life as it should be. Like I said on the Charlie Brown thing that you love so much, but I think that's
Yeah, it gets a little old.
that's where. Well, that's only because you hear it 6 times, but
That's what I mean. I have to hear it, all
right.
year old.
But anyway, but that's where we are for the new year. We're looking forward to getting back to where we normally have a Christmas party internally, and we have it on the Epiphany because it's after January, so everybody's got everything done. But we decided to be careful this year and put it off. We're gonna have one in this summer. And one of the things we're going to do is we're going to have a little fire pit for everybody to throw their masks in. So we're going to burn masks this summer. But anyway, that's the program for today.
Okay.
You want to? Tom, of course, is on every Saturday and Sunday. We've got what is it? It's Encore this week, right?
Yeah, well, we'll be on, but it'll be an encore show. I'm going to be relaxing. Actually, I'm going to be working around the house. I got projects to do. I was painting a door today, so I'm just working on my house. And as far as that goes, next weekend, 2021, we'll be starting on the 2nd. We will be from 9 to noon. On the 3rd, which is Sunday, the last early show from 7 to 9. And then after that, throughout the year, until football season starts up again, it'll be 8 to 11 on Sunday and 9 to 12 on Saturdays every weekend.
And the Garden Pros lives on there.
And Danny Milliken with the Garden Pros and all the Garden pros. How do you refer to everybody?
I don't know what the Latin for plural of pros is, but my catechism doesn't go that deep. But anyway, the other thing I was going to say is we still will be posting our Ask Tom videos. We do a new one every day, and Tom and I, when we're done here, are going to record them for the next week. And if you want to send your questions into us, you go to homeshowradio.com, click on that Ask Tom button, and then you have a choice whether you want to fill out the form or send in a video. It's up to you. We'd love to hear from you and get your questions. We thank you for making 2020 such a special year. I mean, I know it was tough and rough in many ways, but we held tough, and 2021 is going to be a great one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
And keep safe.
Got a question? Ask Tom on Home Show